Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is spank the like button before watching this, so that it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, Stoic Indifference. Fausto de Campo is the author of this book that teaches you basic mental discipline. They say that a mime is a terrible thing to waste, and so is your mind, especially when you fall in love and put your mental well-being into the hands of a woman. Think for yourself, structure your thoughts, and improve your critical thinking skills. Pick up a copy on Kindle or paperback today. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number one is a woman that says no white boys allowed. I think that most white guys will agree to those terms. On behalf of the Caucasian delegation, we pass her off to the brothers. In fact, they'll run away fast, hoping she doesn't eat them through her belly mouth. She's so hungry that her stomach has a mouth to eat faster and get fatter. Up next, speaking of fat, the Lululemon founder has said that to be honest, some women are simply too big to wear leggings. Remember that spandex is like Rottweilers. They get bad reputations thanks to their owners. It's great when you have so much money that you can say whatever you want without running the risk of getting canceled. He says some women, these days it's probably closer to most women. Number three, Paul McCartney says that once he drained his lizard with John Lennon, and that it was good, harmless fun. He seems to be trying to pass this off as nothing, but it's gay. He already got married to Heather Mills, his second wife, with one leg, that took him to the cleaners. Now he's just embarrassing himself even further. He probably isn't even the real Paul McCartney, but an imposter that took his place after the real one was ended in a car accident back in 1966. Moving on, we have a woman that scarred her face using a TikTok hack to fake freckles, but now she's unrecognizable. Now it looks like she has artificial chicken pox or something. This is yet another example of how desperate women are getting for attention these days. But to be honest, it's hardly noticeable from my 20th story balcony. I think these TikTok IQ tests are harsh on women and are probably designed to thin the herd a bit. She could have tried it with just one to see if it worked first. Up next is Hollywood's solution to fight online piracy. They're making movies so bad that no one wants to watch them, even if they're free. It's working because who steals the Marvels movie? Not to mention it's giving people a lot of free time to do other things. It's probably just women in Hollywood making the bad movies intentionally so the men have no choice but to start paying more attention to them. Remember, it's an attention-based economy. Moving on is Riley. She found love from the man of her dreams after she had an on-camera body count in the hundreds. She was also disowned by her family for doing so. So that kid probably exists to give her attention because everyone else cut her off. Plus it keeps the cuck she's with in the relationship as an anchor baby, who marries someone that makes spicy content, other than Adam22. Number 7, maybe Riley never would have had the kid if her extended family was still in her life, and she wouldn't be suffering the fate of this woman. She's 30, not married, and has no kids, and is convincing herself that that's okay. If it doesn't matter, then why would she take this picture holding up that sign? You can also see the 100+ notch count in her dead stare. The light in her eyes has almost completely gone out. Up next, with harder economic times, for most women on Tinder, they'll be checking their bank accounts and then increasing the age range of the men that they're looking for. Now I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but you know how the rest of the song goes. Remember that a man is never old until he's poor, and a woman is old at 24. The older the men she's willing to date, the more she wants your resources. Number 9, a boy passes away in the mom's care, and the court jails the dad for criticizing the judge who gave her custody. Remember that it's never a woman's fault, and if you call it out, then what she did is your fault. This is horrible, and it doesn't matter if the judge was male or female. The female one has female own group preference, and the male one is probably blue-pilled and married, and his love for his wife extends to all the other women out there. Moving on, it looks like California is going to provide gender-affirming care for illegals. Talk about wasting the taxpayers' moolah. I'm sure that all the Chinese and African immigrants will be lining up to get their free sex changes. Not. I guess they're running out of Latinos, so it's time for the border to get flooded by other groups. Number 11 is Jessica coming home from college for Christmas, and is complaining because her family is asking her how freshman year is going, when all she can think about is the fertilizer of the guy she spent the night with dripping out of her, as well as the man she's going to meet up with for a movie. But fertilizer, is that part of her chemistry or biology homework perhaps? Maybe she's trying to collect enough of it to create a cooch bomb or something. Up next, we have a man that's gone beast mode by covering up the old tattoo of his ex that's on his arm. I guess some jokes just write themselves. The gorilla looks better and more distinguished, and somehow even more feminine. Either he paid a better tattoo artist or his ex was really unattractive. Remember, guys, reject women and remember Harambe. Rest in peace. Number 13, a woman lies about there not being any good men out there. And the guy tells her to be honest, and she says, all right. She wanted the top 0.1% man despite being average, and couldn't adjust her expectations until it was just too late. He says, thank you. Women know what they're doing, but like a moth drawn to a flame, they can't help themselves. But women still tell themselves that it's men that are the problem because we don't want to settle down. Moving on, I guess now we fully understand why Captain America went back in time to be with Peggy Carter. She was probably the first woman in his life to give him any attention, and only after he took the super serum. All he needed to do was become 6'5", get a chiseled jaw, ripped muscles, save the world, gain status by being put on the radio commercials, and become a celebrity. That's all. He also seemed to have one of the worst cases of former simp-one-itis. Number 15, we have the stages of female empowerment. First, they work as secretaries, then mathematicians and computer programmers at NASA. Today, they're on Lonely Fools pages, and where will they be in another 10 years? Probably doing more of those BJs for Big Macs once the AI girlfriends and loverbots come out, if they're lucky to get those. Looks like in the end, feminism is going to be way more harmful than good. Well, at least they have their own money now. Up next, we have a demoralized woman that realizes that she's attractive enough that guys want to bang her privately, but never date her publicly. They call them sweepers. You bang them and then you sweep them under the rug. She too won't settle for less than Chad because she's a 4 that thinks she's a 10. 9s and 10s don't want to be seen with a 4 because then the other women won't want to be with them and think they're actually of lower value. Her dead stare tells me all I need to know. Number 17 is the please get away from me, I'm just hugging you at a distance for this photo, and you'll never touch my cooch. It's the hips out hug. Women will smile and pretend for photos all the time, but their body language will always tell the truth about what they really think about you. Moving on, Disney fans are upset because for the first time, a live-action Disney film has a lighter-skinned actress than the character she's playing. Has Disney finally decided to turn the corner? And is going to stop being woke, or is it just doing this because they couldn't cast a woman with the perfect nose? I hate when they race swap characters and do forced diversity. It ruins the original vision. Now also maybe make her gay and lame, like South Park says. Number 19 is another freakish form of plastic surgery. Now women are getting a procedure to change their eye color. She looked beautiful before and now she looks like a discount vampire from the Twilight films. Now all she needs is to get those freckle tattoos and her failure will be complete. The side effects of getting this surgery also potentially include going blind. This is great. Where do I sign up? Up next, a woman says that 126 men have nutted in her before her relationship, and her man still loves her for who she is, that he's a king. More like King Cuck. I guess she must have told him that it was only 6 or something. Then she responds later by saying that he just broke up with her and that everybody won. Number 21, whether it looks like the writing is on the wall, with the writers of the Evie magazine realizing that women can't compete with AI girlfriends anymore. The top 10 to 20% of men will continue banging the bottom 80% of women and throw them away afterwards, while the bottom 80% of men will use AI bots for pleasure. The person that sells the bottom 80% of men lover bots will be the wealthiest man in the world. Moving on is a woman saying her 85-year-old grandmother still talks about a guy she knew at the age of 19. Talk about a woman that's an alpha widow. Men get one-nightists that last for a few years, and women become alpha widows for years or even a lifetime like in this case. This is the real-life version of Rose from Titanic. Number 23, crazy how this is what polyamorous relationships are like with multiple men and one woman. A fat, unattractive woman surrounded by simps. If you're going to be a simp, at least be a simp for a somewhat attractive woman. But still, it looks like she has plenty to go around if you know what I mean. But in all fairness, there's also a lot of her to go around as well, if you also know what I mean. This is a Democrat meme come to life. She's definitely on a diet, high in protein, that's for sure. Up next, we have an oldie but a goodie, with a TikToker saying that Target let her steal $3,000 worth of stuff over several years, so they can send her to jail. I guess they kept track, and once she racked up enough on her tab, that's when they called the popo in, and she thought nothing of it for years. Must have happened in a place like California, where they have a minimum amount you can steal before they finally arrest you. Number 25 and the last one, I think that we just need to start to accept that the 90s was our peak as a species. Music, toys, cartoons peaked in the 80s. Film and computer game concepts in the 90s. Architecture in the early to mid 20th century with Art Nouveau and Deco. Car design seemed to be stuck in the mid 2000s. I think that since the internet became mainstream, the dopamine rush from that has distracted us from putting effort into the physical world and culture. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so that new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribestar links below for more. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.